Welcome to our next lecture. Students, in the last period, we have seen about lattice, basis, and how lattice plus basis gives out what we call as a crystal structure. Now, in this lecture, we are going to see or we are going to discuss symmetry operations. We will be discussing symmetry operations. Now, what is symmetry operations? What is it? So, a symmetry operation is a operation when carried out on a lattice, or we can say on a crystal or a body in general. Then a symmetry operation is an operation when carried out on a crystal, leaves the crystal or lattice invariant, or we can say unchanged, or when it remains unchanged, we will find no change even if we carry out the operation. Then also we will not be able to distinguish between initial position and new position of the lattice, crystal, or any body in general. Such an operation is called as symmetry operation. So we can say symmetry operation is the operation which transforms symmetry operation is the operation which transforms a lattice, or we can say a crystal, into itself. That will be called as a symmetry operation. Now, as we proceed, it will be clear to you. Now, basically speaking, there are 4 types of symmetry operations. So, first is translation operation, and corresponding symmetry will be called as a translational symmetry. Then second is rotation operation. The third one is reflection. The third operation is reflection, and fourth one is inversion. Now, generally speaking, a lattice or a crystal or a body may possess all these symmetries. It may possess translational symmetry, it may possess rotational symmetry, or it may possess reflection symmetry, or it may possess inversion symmetry, or in general it may possess any one of these symmetry operations or any one of these symmetries. Or we can say in general a body may possess combinations of these symmetry operations also. For example, a body may possess translational symmetry plus rotational symmetry, or translational plus reflection symmetry, or a combination of any of the operations may also be possessed by a lattice. Now, as far as lattice is concerned, the translational symmetry is possessed by lattice only. Lattice possesses translational symmetry only. On the other hand, the remaining three operations are possessed by crystals, or we can say crystal structures. And among these also, the last operation, the inversion operation, is possessed by only three-dimensional objects. Inversion symmetry is possessed by only three-dimensional objects. And the combination of these three operations is called as point symmetry operations. Point symmetry operations. Combination is called as point symmetry operations, isn't it? Now, in this video, we are going to discuss only first two operations: translational symmetry operation and rotation symmetry operations. So, let us first of all go for translational symmetry. Translation operation. So, while discussing the lattice, we have discussed about the fundamental translation vectors also. Fundamental translation vectors. We know what is meant by fundamental translation vectors. Now, when we carry out a translation operation on a lattice point, then what happens? We obtain a new lattice point. After having the translation operation on a particular lattice point, say we can say R, then it will lead to a new point R dash, and these 2 points will be exactly identical with each other. The surroundings about the 2 points will be exactly identical with each other. The lattice will remain invariant. Even if we look to the lattice from point R or from point R dash, there will be no any change. So such an operation will be called as a translation operation, and we can write the equation here. Here it is the translation operation, translation vector. So we can write R dash is equal to R plus translation vector T. So in general, for a three-dimensional lattice, the translation vector may be consisting of three fundamental vectors, A, B, and C, and correspondingly we can write this operation, this equation as N1A plus N2B plus N3C. So where this N1, N2, N3, these are the integers, or we can say these are the integral coefficients of the vectors, isn't it? A, B, C. How many times we have to operate, we have to carry out translation vector A1, translation of a vector A. How many times we have to carry out translation of a vector B and that of C in order to reach to the point R dash from point R. So this is what we mean by translation operation. And if the lattice is possessing this symmetry, if lattice is remaining invariant even after carrying out the translation operation, then we will say that the lattice is possessing translational symmetry. Now, second operation that we have to discuss is rotation. Now, if we rotate, if rotation of an lattice about an axis in 3D, 3 dimension, or about a point in 2 dimension. If rotation of a lattice about an axis on axis through angle theta leaves the lattice invariant, then the lattice is said to possess rotational symmetry for an angle of theta. Then lattice is said to possess rotational symmetry through angle theta. So here theta can be theta in general. Theta can have any value from 0 to 360 degrees. But one thing that we would like to discuss is that let us discuss this point furthermore. For example, suppose this is a plane. Actually, this is plane. The tip is facing on this side. So when I rotate this plane, now here I am carrying out the rotation operation. How I am rotating the plane? I am rotating the plane about vertical axis. About this axis I am rotating. So when I rotate the plane through angle of 360 degrees, then what will happen? It will remain invariant. The position, the appearance of the plane will be invariant. There will be no change at all. Because initially also the tip was on this side. So after carrying out the rotation, again the tip is on this same side also. So here we will say the plane is possessing rotational symmetry about an vertical axis through 360 degree. Similarly, we can rotate the plane about horizontal axis, and here we see that as far as this plane is concerned, rotation through any angle about the horizontal axis, keeping the plane unchanged. There is no change in the appearance. The tip is there only. We cannot identify the initial position and new position. So here it can be said that it is possessing rotational symmetry. Now, in case of lattices, the picture is slightly different. Now, because why different? Because here, if we want to check out the rotational symmetry in addition to translational symmetry, combination of two, then it puts limitation on the values of theta. So how that is, let us discuss ahead. So first of all, the one thing is clear to us is that all bodies will remain invariant when they are rotated through an angle of 2 pi. The rotation of a body about an axis or about a point through an angle of 2 pi will keep the body invariant, unchanged. As I have told you, कुठल्याही बॉडीला आपण 360 डिग्री मधून फिरवलं आपण तर काय होईल, परत आपण तिथंच येऊया, isn't it? So that will be, so we can say all bodies will be possessing rotational symmetry through an angle of 360 degrees. So we can say that this tells us that the integral values of theta, that is n theta, should be equal to 2 pi. What is theta here? Theta is the angle through which we have rotated the body about the axis. And what is the fact? The fact is that any body possesses rotational symmetry through an angle of 2 pi. 2 pi मधून कुठलीही बॉडी आपण फिरवली, रोटेट केली, तर परत बॉडी पूर्व स्थितीला येते. So this fact tells us that the integral values of theta should be equal to 2 pi, where n is the 1, 2, 3 like that, isn't it? So from this we can get the value of theta as theta is equal to 2 pi by n. Now, as far as this equation is concerned, here n can take any values other than 0, because when we take value of n equal to 0, the value of theta will become infinity. So infinity does not have any meaning. So here values of n should be equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. But as I have told you before few minutes, if we want to have rotational symmetry incompatible with translational symmetry, if we want to think of rotational symmetry with translational symmetry as well, then the compatibility issue of the rotational symmetry with the translational symmetry puts some restrictions on the allowed values of theta, or we can say allowed values of n. So here this n is called as multiplicity of rotation. N is called as multiplicity of rotation, and the allowed values of n which are compatible with the translational symmetry are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 only. याचा अर्थ काय झाला की थीटाच्या व्हॅल्यू त्याच व्हॅल्यू साठी लॅटिस मध्ये रोटेशन सिमेट्री असेल ज्या व्हॅल्यू साठी n ची किंमत एक तर 1 असेल किंवा 2 असेल किंवा 3 असेल किंवा 4 असेल नाहीतर 6 असेल. Only these values of n are allowed as far as rotational symmetry incompatible with translation symmetry is concerned or is considered. So now let us see what are the values of theta corresponding to these values of n. So when we put n equal to 1, it happens to be 0 or 360 degrees. 0 or 360 degrees. For n equal to 2, it happens to be 180 degree. 2 pi divided by 2, so 2 will get cancelled, only pi would remain there, so it will be 180 degrees. Then for n equal to 3, the value of theta comes to be 120 degree. Then for n equal to 4, value of theta comes to be 90 degree. And last one is for n equal to 6, the value of theta comes to be 60 degrees. So the meaning is that only the lattice or crystal structures possesses rotational symmetry if and only if we rotate the crystal about an axis through an angle of either 0 degree or 360 degree or 180 degree or 120 degree or 90 degree or 60 degree. Further, all these values, all these rotational symmetry are not possessed by all the crystal structures. Some of the crystal structure may possess rotational symmetry about 180 degree only. Some may possess rotational symmetry about 90 degree only. and all crystals will possess rotational symmetry about 0 or 360 degrees only, and there will be difference between the rotational symmetries. Now here rotational symmetries corresponding to value of n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. are called as n-fold rotational symmetry. N-fold rotational symmetry. That means if the lattice is possessing rotational symmetry for a value of n equal to 2, then we will say that the particular lattice, particular crystal structure is possessing twofold rotational symmetry. If the crystal structure is possessing rotational symmetry for the value of theta equal to 60 degree, for which n is having value of 6, so in that case we will say that it is having six-fold rotational symmetry. It is having six-fold rotational symmetry. Now let us take some examples. Let us take some examples. Suppose we are having a circle, a disc, and in that disc we are having markings like this. Just a minute, I will draw the figure once again. We are having a disc capable of rotation through an about an axis passing through the point O. O मधून चकती घ्या, एक चक्कर मार्किंग करा या पद्धतीची, अशी मार्किंग करा, and it is able to rotate about the axis passing through the center. Then what we see here is that if we join any 2 points, these 2 points, then this angle happens to be 60 degree. So clearly when we will rotate this disc about the axis passing through the point O, then what will happen? Through 60 degree, when we rotate this disc about an axis passing through the point O, then through 60 degree, then what will happen? If initially we are here, let us give the names here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So initially we are here, and now we rotate the disc through an angle of 60 degree. So what will happen? What will be the new position? New position will be at the place of 1, we will be having 6, and then again at the position of 2, we will be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So 1 will take the 6 will take the position of 1, and so on. But overall the disk will remain unchanged. We will not be able to identify which marking was which. ही जी मार्किंग आपण केलेली आहे ती काय असेल, ती सेमच वाटेल आपल्याला. it will, so we will say that here, as far as this disk is concerned, we will say that the disk is possessing six-fold rotational symmetry. Six-fold rotational symmetry, or we will say rotation of this disk through an angle of 60 degree will keep the disk invariant, unchanged. So this is what we mean by rotational symmetry, or more specifically, a six-fold rotational symmetry. Now, what is the example of six-fold rotational symmetry? Let us consider a hexagon. A hexagon. Hexagon जर तुम्ही consider केलं तर hexagon ला काय करता येईल? What is meant by hexagon? Hexagon is like this. Hexagon has 6 sides, having equal sides. So this is a hexagon. So now this is the center point. So if we join these points, this is the center. So each angle we know that it is a 60 degree. It is having equilateral triangles, isn't it? They are having equilateral triangles. So here, and now suppose the lattice points are here. At these at the vertices of the hexagon, we are having lattice points. So what will happen if we rotate this hexagon through about an axis passing through the point O? Center मधून जो axis pass होतो त्याच्या भोवती आपण फिरवलं त्याला. So what will happen? The initial position and new position will be having identical surrounding. We will not be able to identify the previous lattice point and new lattice point at the given position. So we will say that the hexagon, a regular hexagon, is having a six-fold rotational symmetry. Now we can take another example. Suppose we are having what is this? This is a square, for which we know that the angles between the edges of the square is all 90 degrees. So the question is, how many fold symmetry will be this square having? Square हा जो आहे त्याला किती fold symmetry असेल about the axis passing through the center of the point, center point O, isn't pass किती fold symmetry असेल? Clearly, if we rotate this square through an angle of 90 degree, काय होईल? It will remain invariant, unchanged. So we will say that this square will be having four-fold rotational four-fold rotational symmetry. Why four-fold? Because corresponding to the value of theta equal to 90 degree, the value of n comes to be 4. So it is called as four-fold rotational symmetry. So on the other hand, if we take a rectangle ला किती fold symmetry असेल? For a rectangle, we know that angles are 90 degree, but sides are not equal. Opposite sides are equal. So rectangle will be having two-fold rotational symmetry, isn't it? So I think we have discussed at length what is meant by rotational symmetry and what is meant by n-fold rotational symmetry. One-fold, two-fold, three-fold, four-fold, and six-fold. Now you may be wondering why we are not speaking about five-fold rotational symmetry, because we have not taken here value of n equal to 5. We have not considered value of n equal to 5. Why? Because as far as the crystals are concerned, translation symmetry and rotational symmetry is concerned, five-fold rotational symmetry is not possible. It is not allowed in case of crystals or in case of lattice. So why it is not compatible with translational symmetry, that we will now see, that we will not discuss. Rotational 5-fold rotational symmetry is not allowed. Why it is so? Why do not 5-fold rotational symmetry does not exist, we can say, or it is not allowed, it is not compatible with, does not exist, rather than in, we can say, in lattice. Otherwise it will exist, but here it is not existing. It is not in, it is not compatible, it is not compatible with lattices. So why this is so? So let us, to discuss that, let us consider a one-dimensional lattice. Let us consider a one-dimensional lattice. Let us consider a one-dimensional lattice, and suppose these are the lattice points of the lattice. This is one-dimensional lattice. Now consider, and suppose this is the, let this point is B and this point is C, and this point is suppose A, B, C and D. These A, B, C, D are the lattice points of that one-dimensional lattice. Among that, this BC is the fundamental translation vector. BC is the fundamental translation vector, and now let us carry out rotation operation. First of all, for time being, let us assume that this lattice possesses n-fold rotational symmetry. This lattice possesses n-fold rotational symmetry. That means any value of theta is allowed. So let us rotate this translation vector through an angle of theta at B and at C. आता हा जो वेक्टर आहे, this is again translation vector. This is again, we are having translation vector. All we can consider as a translation vectors. So let us rotate translation vector BA about an axis passing through the point B and perpendicular to the plane of the paper, plane of the board. म्हणजे कसा, समजा हा इथं हा पॉइंट या पद्धतीचा. Let us rotate the translation vector about an angle theta, about through the angle theta, about the axis passing through the point B in clockwise direction. म्हणजे कसं, समजा हा पॉइंट बी आहे आणि हा वेक्टर बी ए आहे, तर बी ए ला काय करा, थीटा इतक्या अँगल मधून clockwise rotate करा. So how we rotated this? we have rotated the vector BA through an angle theta clockwise about an axis passing through the point B perpendicular to the paper, like this. Similarly, rotate the vector CD through the same angle theta, but in anti-clockwise direction. हे आहे clockwise आणि ही आहे anti-clockwise direction. Rotate केला. Now, what will happen if this lattice is possessing rotational symmetry through an correspond for an angle of theta, then clearly the point A will take the position of, suppose, A dash, and the point D will take the position of, say, let us change the name here. This will take the position B dash, and this will take the position, let us give the names B dash and C dash. These are the positions of the tips of the vectors. When you rotate the vector BA through an angle of theta, then what will happen? Let us assume that the tip of the vector takes the position of B dash. Similarly, for this vector, the tip of the vector takes the position, new position, and let us call this position as C dash. Now, if this lattice is possessing the n-fold rotational symmetry for an angle of theta, then clearly these points B dash and C dash should be lattice points. जर हे जे वन डायमेन्शनल लॅटिस आहे ते जर रोटेशनल सिमेट्री पजेस करत असेल तर रोटेट केल्यानंतर त्या वेक्टरचे टिप ज्या नवीन पोझिशनला गेलेले आहेत, उदाहरणार्थ या केसमध्ये बी डॅश आणि सी डॅश हे न्यू पोझिशन आहे, तर बी डॅश आणि सी डॅश देखील काय असलं पाहिजे, लॅटिस पॉइंट्सच असले पाहिजेत. कारण का की आपण असं झूम करतोय की त्याला रोटेशनल सिमेट्री आहे. Now let us join these points. B dash आणि C dash याला जॉईन करा. आणि नंतर जॉईन केल्यानंतर काय करा, B पासून B dash C dash वर लंब टाका, त्याला नाव द्या E, जिथं तो लंब मीट करतो त्याला. C पासून लंब टाका, जिथं तो मीट करेल त्याला नाव द्या F. Now there are 2 points. First point that we have said is that B dash and C dash should be the lattice points, and second point, if it is having rotation symmetry, then this B dash C dash should be parallel to AD. हे काय असलं पाहिजे, बी डॅश सी डॅश हे एडी ला देखील पॅरलल पाहिजे. हा जो आपण लॅटिस आपण कन्सिडर केला होता त्या लॅटिसला हा देखील कसा पाहिजे, पॅरलल असायला हवा. कारण का, ऑन रोटेशन थ्रू एन अँगल ऑफ थीटा वी आर अज्युमिंग दॅट द लॅटिस इज रिमेनिंग इनव्हेरियंट. दॅट मीन्स इट शुड बी पॅरलल टू इच अदर and B dash C dash should be the lattice points, isn't it? Now, if this is the case, if this is so, if this is satisfied, obeyed, then now let us go ahead. Suppose now what is this angle? B dash BA is the angle theta. So obviously from geometry of the figure, this angle should be also equal to theta, and this angle should be also equal to theta. These two angles should be equal to theta. हे दोन्ही अँगल कसे पाहिजे, थीटा पाहिजे, isn't it? And these B dash, E, EF, and C, these the lengths of these segments should also be equal to translation vector, or we can say the length of the segment should be equal to integral multiple of translation vector t. हे कसं पाहिजे, जर या सगळ्या कंडिशन सॅटिस्फाय होत असतील, जर ह्या लॅटिस रोटेशन सिमेट्री पजेस करत असेल, तर आफ्टर रोटेशन थ्रू एन अँगल ऑफ थीटा जे आपल्याला नवीन सेगमेंट मिळालेला आहे बी डॅश सी डॅश, हा एक तर पॅरलल असायला हवा, दुसरी गोष्ट बी डॅश सी डॅश हे लॅटिस पॉइंट असायला हवे. असं जर असेल तर हे असं सगळं सॅटिस्फाय होत असेल तर आपल्याला असं म्हणता येईल की बी डॅश सी डॅश जी लेंथ जी आहे ही लेंथ कशी पाहिजे, दिस लेंथ शुड बी इन मल्टिपल ऑफ फंडामेंटल ट्रान्सलेशन वेक्टर टी. जो आपला फंडामेंटल ट्रान्सलेशन वेक्टर टी आहे त्याला मल्टिपल मध्ये ही लेंथ असली पाहिजे. म्हणजेच काय, इट शुड बी इक्वल टू एम टी, वेर एम इज an integer. M is an integer. So now from figure we can say now this TC, this is equal to, now what is T? T is nothing but BC. T is nothing but BC. So we can say B dash C dash is equal to M BC. M BC. Now let us move further. Now write down the value of B dash C dash. आता आपण आज सुरुवातीला सांगितलं हे कसं आहे, दिस शुड बी द लॅटिस पॉइंट्स. तर मग आता या इन टर्म्स ऑफ ट्रान्सलेशन वेक्टर व्हॉट विल बी द व्हॅल्यूज ऑफ बी डॅश ई, EF and EC. So this for that, let us know what this B dash C dash is made up of. B dash C dash is made up of B dash C dash is made up of B dash E plus EF plus EF C dash, and this is equal to MBC. Now, what is the value of B dash E? B dash E, B dash E value in terms of translation vector T and in consideration of angle theta. आता हा वेक्टर आहे T, हा वेक्टर B dash is vector T. So, sorry, not it is not T. This will be the vector T. This will be vector T, and this will also be vector T. So टीच्या रूपामध्ये आणि थीटाच्या कन्सिडर केल्यानंतर बी डॅश ई ची व्हॅल्यू काय येईल, हा टी आहे, हा टी आहे. तर आता बी डॅश ई ची व्हॅल्यू थीटाच्या रूपामध्ये काय येईल. सो बाय दिस इज नाउ हियर वी कॅन सी दिस अँड दिस बी डॅश ई आणि बी हा राईट अँगल ट्रायंगल आहे, त्याच्यामधला हा जो अँगल आहे तो थीटा आहे. सो बी डॅश ई विल बी इक्वल टू सिम्पली टी कॉस थीटा, because B dash E happens to be the adjacent side and this vector T happens to be the diagonal in this case. So the value of B dash E will be equal to T cos theta. T cos theta. How? Because here if we write down the value of cos theta from this right angle triangle, so cos theta is adjacent side B dash E divided by diagonal T. So T B dash E will be equal to T cos theta plus EF. So EF is again simply T. So it is t plus f dash c will be again equal to t cos theta. So it is t cos theta, and again m bc is again t. So we have reached one equation. B dash c dash is equal to t cos theta plus t cos theta plus is equal to mt. So here t cos theta plus t cos theta will be 2t cos theta plus t is equal to mt. So we can take t common. So we can write here 2 cos theta plus 1 is equal to mt. So t will get cancelled here, and so t will get cancelled, and we will be having 2 cos theta equal to m minus 1, or we can say cos theta is equal to m minus 1 divided by 2. So this gives us value of cos theta in terms of m. Now what is m? M is a integer. M is a integer, and it will take any values, but the value of m are restricted in this case because of value of cos theta. Theta can take any value, m can take any value, but cos theta cannot take any value, because we know that values of cos theta varies between -1 to +1. Minimum and maximum value of cos theta is -1 to +1. So as far as cos theta is concerned, the values of cos theta varies from -1 to +1, or we can say cos theta is less than equal to 1. Cos theta is always, mod of cos theta is always less than equal to 1. So this fact, this is actually fact. This is from trigonometry, because cos theta cannot take any value. The values of cos theta range between -1 to +1. So this is fact. So this fact puts the restriction on the values of m. We should consider only those values of m for which the LHS, that is cos theta, for which cos theta values remains between -1 and +1. So we should consider, or we can say only those values of m are allowed for which this equation is satisfied. हे इक्वेशन ज्या व्हॅल्यू साठी सॅटिस्फाय होत असेल m च्या, त्याच व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला कन्सिडर करता येतील. अदर व्हॅल्यू सगळे आपल्याला सोडून द्याव्या लागतील. कारण का की फॅक्ट इज cos theta ranges between -1 to +1. So now the question is, what are the values of m, allowed values of m? So we see, so go on putting the values. So if we put the values of m, then we will came to know that m equal to 3, 2, 1, 0 and -1. Only these values of m are allowed, or we can say only these values of m, the equation above, that is cos theta equal to m minus 1 upon 2, is satisfied. For other values of for values other than these values, the equation does not satisfy. That means the value of LHS goes beyond the range of cos theta. So now so only these values of m are set. Now you can do your homework at your home, and you put the values of m equal to theta, and theta m equal to 3, 2, 1, 0 and -1, and find out the values of theta. So if we put, for example, if we put m equal to 3, then what is the value of theta? cos theta 3 minus 1 divided by 2. So it is 2 upon 2. It is 1. So cos theta is 1. So what is the value of theta? Theta is 0. Therefore, theta is equal to 0 or 360. Similarly, if we put m equal to 2, so 2 minus 1 divided by 2. So it is 1 half. So what is the value of theta? 1 half. So the values are 60 degree. Cos 60 is 1 half, isn't it? Similarly, we can put the value of other values of m, and we will calculate the values of theta. So if we calculate the values of theta, allowed values of theta, then we will see that theta comes to be 0 or 360. Then next allowed value of theta is 60 degrees. Next one is 90 degree. Next value is 120 degree, and last value is 180 degree. So 0, 360, 60, 980, 60, 90, 120. So only these values of theta are possible. So, and if we go for now value of n चे values काय आहे यासाठी 0, 360 साठी किती आहे? Because we know that this basically the theta was given by 2 pi by n. So for 0 or 360, n is equal to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. Only these values of n are possible. So we will say that the lattice and crystal structures possess only these symmetries: 1-fold symmetry, 2-fold symmetry, 3-fold symmetry, 4-fold symmetry, and 6-fold symmetry. This value does not involve, these values does not have n equal to 5. So we will say that the 5-fold symmetry, 5-fold rotational symmetry does not exist किंवा is not allowed in lattice. 5-fold symmetry यामध्ये नसते. So in this way we have shown that how 5-fold symmetry is not allowed. For the time being we will stop here now, and in the next video we will discuss the remaining 2 types of symmetries, which are reflection symmetry and inversion symmetry. So by the time we will stop here.